If you go to a lot of rallies, you may hear about the complimentary inspections that we at Henderson's lineup SuperSteer provide. You may wonder what all is involved in that inspection. What's the benefit of it? So today I'm going to take you along with me on an inspection so you can see what it's all about.
How are you today?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thanks for coming out. I really appreciate what you guys are doing for us.
Oh, you're very welcome. Glad we could do it. So, yeah, what we're going to start out by doing is we'll take a look at your steering components.
Okay.
So, is it okay if we pop the hood?
Absolutely. Yes,
all right.
Please.
So we'll go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to have you hop in the driver's seat.
Okay. Yeah. Are we going to start it up?
We're going to do it without it started first.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and rock it real light.
That's kind of nice.
A little lighter. All right. I'm going to go ahead and grab the coupler from down here. Oh, yeah, that gearbox is right there. Okay, now go ahead and start it up and rock it a little harder. All right, so just rock it forward like that, yep. That looks good. All right, we're looking at tie rod end, looks good. Have him keep rocking it. Drag link looks good. Check the ends on that track bar. Not seeing any excessive movement there. Frame bracket's good and tight. Other end of the track bar is good and tight as well. That tie rod end looks good as well. A little bit of rotation in the tie rod, but it's not actually popping. Let's make sure our safety plus looks tight. Let's sneak underneath here. Sure. Those are tight. That bolt is tight. The bracket will flex a little bit, and that's normal, but just making sure that there's no movement between that nut and the bracket. Same with this one. That's good and tight. Okay, you can stop rocking it and shut it down. I do see one thing I want to point out. So this is something that, let's see, it looks like it's not actually contacting, but on the Safety Plus, actually, no, I think it has a little bit. Yeah, so what we find on these S2 RVs, the Safety Plus sometimes can get close to these two bolts that Freightliner uses to support these cables. So what we're recommending in these cases is actually taking those loose, flipping the cables around and putting them on top there. So we'll see if we can get a 9/6 or a 1/2 inch end wrench and flip that around. It's a good thing I have this magic creeper down here.
Yeah, it's a good thing you're using it.
Old habits are hard to break. We've looked at steering components, inspecting the shocks, make sure that there's no leakage, that all that looks good. Shocks look good. Looking at tire wear. Tire wear feels good. I'm not feeling toe feather. Looks even side to side. Let's take a look at our date code. These are 14 of 24, so 14th week of 2024 on that tire. Of course, we check the same thing on the other side as well. So all that looks good. We've looked at overall suspension up front. Now it is important to note we're not jacking up the front end. We're not checking wheel bearings. We're not checking kingpins. We're doing as much as we can with a just a visual inspection. But that's fairly comprehensive on the front. We checked the Safety Plus, made sure that everything's tight on that. Tie rod ends look good. Drag link looks good. Steering gear looks good. The Roadmaster Davis True Track front track bar looks good. Coney shocks look good. No visible issues with spring bushings, anything like that. This did not come with a factory front sway bar, and he hasn't installed one on here yet, so we don't have anything from that respect to look at. So now let's go ahead and take a look under the rear of the coach. Normally we're looking just at suspension components in the back. Of course, we'll also check the tire date code, make sure that there's no obvious issues, say like an inner dual flat. We have seen that before. But on these Jayco and Integra Super Cs, I always like to check the mud flaps too, because like on this one, it's loose. So see that, how it can flop around? That is a problem on these things, and I believe on the newer ones they have improved it, but this is this what, a 2025, and we're still seeing it. So this is a mud flap in front of the rear tires on each side. See how I can flop it around there? So there should have been screws, or there were screws up the top there. They've either backed out or have snapped, and the especially concerning thing is they put this T-bracket on the front face of this this mud flap, and if this bracket were to come loose, I mean, you can already see actually how that has started to wear. So look at the edge of that bracket. See how that's worn down? This tire is eating away at that T-bracket. Has actually worn away that. You can actually feel a little bit of a groove in the tread on that tire. So I would highly recommend securing this bracket better, if not just removing it altogether, because I would rather get a little bit of water in my compartment than risk getting this thing into my tire. So in some cases we recommend just doing that until it can get more properly secured. And we'll go ahead, let's take a look on the other side. See how that other one looks. You got a little more light on this side. Yep, same thing there. See how that's just flopping around? So it's right now it's just the screws on the side there that are holding it in place. This one, the tire has started to wear on it. So as you're going down the road, the force of your 60, 65 mile an hour wind is pushing on that, and it can actually push it into the tire. So this one hasn't gotten into that T-bracket yet, but eventually it could get to that point. So we would definitely recommend getting that better secured. Now, do a visual inspection of the rear suspension from the front of the axle. You can't see as much. I'm going to go ahead around the back now. All right, looks like he does have the Coney Evos back here. Still got the factory rear sway bar, so we will let him know that that is an available upgrade. You can go to a 2-inch rear sway bar on the back, as well as adding that 1 3/4 inch front sway bar if he wanted to. I always look at these bolts on the sway bar to make sure they're still tight. I have yet to see any loose, which always kind of surprises me because they seem awfully undersized for a 1 3/4 inch sway bar. Both of those look tight. Bushing looks to be in pretty good shape. I see it squirming out a little bit there, but not too much. Check the same thing on that side. Yep, they're tight. End links are tight. He does have the Coney shocks installed. Those are installed correctly. I'm not seeing any leakage there. He's got our SuperSteer motion control units installed as well. Install looks good on those. You want those within 6 inches of the bag. You want a nice clean cut. All we do on the back of these, unless it's a higher mileage unit, is just a visual inspection on the track bar. Not seeing any obvious wear on that. I am, however, seeing that track bar track bar is able to potentially contact this bundle of... Now, granted, we're almost bottomed out in the suspension, but you can actually see it looks like potentially some of this bundle of wires has actually contacted that, because this would be about here-ish normal ride height. So I would probably recommend securing that a bit better, trying to get all this stuff up on the inside of the frame rail away from this moving part. And I think that pretty much does it. So take a look at our airbags. I don't see any obvious cracking there. This is a pretty new coach, so I wouldn't expect to, but we're always looking for cracking, checking, anything that would indicate those bags are at the end of their lifespan. Take a look. No obvious leakage on your stabilizer jacks. And yeah, like I said, we would check for the date code on these tires as well. A lot of times that's hard to find on these rear ones. Sometimes you end up having to look between the duals. Let's see if I can see one of them. Not quite seeing it there. I'm gonna try coming in from a different angle on that. Now it is important to note, stabilizer jacks are down. Normally we don't like to be underneath coaches with the leveler jacks down, relying on that, but see that gap there? That's as far down as this coach can get before it's fully bottomed out. So that's only about an inch, a little over an inch. So I know I have space. If this were to come down toward me by an inch, I would still be okay, even if we lost pressure in there. But in general, you don't want to rely on your stabilizer jacks to hold the coach up when you're underneath it, because there is no safety. Rear mud flaps are okay for now. I'm still concerned about those being loose, because that could be a road hazard to whoever's behind you, but it's not going to rub on your tire the way those mud flaps in front of the rear tires would. Can't quite find date code, but I'm sure you guys got that on some of these. So anyway, you would check for date code, get that off the rear. We also do look at visually make sure that we're not seeing any issues with your valve extenders from the inner dualies. Sometimes these grommets will wear out. Sometimes if there's TPMS, that can rub on the wheel as well. Just looking for little visual cues. Again, this is just a visual inspection. It's as much as we can see just from crawling around underneath it, looking for anything odd or out of place. A lot of times we can find something that may need attention soon. You know, nothing super major on this, although those mud flaps, I would say that should be taken care of soon. Those lines near the track bar connection, that it's probably been that way for a while, but probably would recommend securing those away so there's less chance of rubbing and chafing. So that's what you can expect from a complimentary rally inspection if you come see us, Henderson's lineup SuperSteer. So you may be wondering, how do I register for one of these? Well, so at one of the rallies that you're attending, your organizer should send out a notification letting you know that you can go to our site to register. It's rallyinspections.com. You can visit that. You can select your particular rally from the drop-down list. And if the rally you're attending is not on the list, that likely means we're not planning on attending it, but sometimes it means that we just haven't gotten things updated yet. So you can add in a different one if it's one that you think we're going to be at. You can put that request in. You can also get on our overflow list if you come to our seminar at the rally. At the end of our presentation, generally we'll give the opportunity to sign up for the overflow list for inspections, and we'll do our best to inspect your coach if you sign up even at the seminar. We very rarely have to turn somebody away because of not having enough time. We do put some long hours in at these rallies just to make sure we get everyone looked at. So hope that's helpful to you in making a decision on whether or not you get an inspection by Henderson's SuperSteer at a rally. And until next time, we want to wish you safer and happier driving. Thank you.